Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I've got somebody backstage. I'm gonna bring him up to the front stage. Got him back in the green room. I should probably change this music though, because this is like way too chill. So I'm gonna put some chill music on, but this chill music isn't really that chill. Or maybe some lounge music. Let's see what we got going on here. Kind of like lounge music a little bit. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And here is Miss Tanya.
Hello,
Hello.
beautiful. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. I'm going to blow us
Beautiful.
both up. How are you, dear?
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Look, we're matching in our plaid today.
We are. We are.
I like it.
Hello, hello. Hey. I call this living my best redneckery life.
I like it. I like it.
I live in the country, so I don't mind being a little bit of a redneck. Oh my goodness. So we just got done watching that fantastic podcast. That was amazing. And I want to thank everybody for popping over here. And I'm sure we're going to have more people come over. Oh God, I hope my internet is not acting up. I've been having internet issues, so hopefully this acts right. So I'm just going to, it's my internet. I'm going to welcome Red Violet already went to the site for the sign up. Hey.
Uh-oh, it looks like she couldn't find the spot to put up the code. Uh-oh, let me look.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. She's going to check on that. Hello, Mr. Oliver. Hello, Nicole Renee. How are you, lovey? How are you? Hello, Butterfly Secrets. Hello. Did that? What resonated with you? What brought you back? The redneckery of it all, or the podcast?
I'm telling you, girl. Rednecks. I am in rural southern Alberta. Just picture it, just north of Montana. That's where I live.
Wow.
So I'm in the heart of redneck land, let me tell you.
Listen, I got no problems. Like, I live in the country. It's not country, but it's kind of country. Let me turn this so that it doesn't. But I like living. I grew up in the city. I lived in the city good chunk of my life. But I just don't want to go back anymore. I don't like it anymore. Hello, Miss Carol. Hello, Desiree. Thank you guys for popping over. So, share this and all that. I did send this out via email and whatnot. Yes, brother, Montana is a beautiful place. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm sure Alberta is gorgeous. Interestingly enough, as much as I've been around the world and I've never been to Canada. I know. I've been to Mexico twice. I've been to Europe a couple times for extended period of times. Had planned on going to South America and doing that, but I've never been to Canada. Don't know why.
Well, maybe you haven't had the invitation from the right person. So here it is.
There we go.
It's that simple, right?
It's just that simple, and just like that, and just like that. Well, I wanted to have this live after show with you, so we could just kind of touch base, and I want to be able to take some questions. Nicole, do it.
I'm telling you, do it, girl.
I want to be able to take some questions. So you guys know, sometimes I put this in here. So I'm going to give you guys the linker. Oops.
Shiny just signed up. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
Yay! Hey, Shiny. Hello, darling. And thank you so much. Oops. South America feels like home. I bet. Okay, this is what we're going to do here. I put this in the chat Whoa, come on, pumpkin. Put this in the chat both in YouTube and let me check on the tubes. Make sure that on the tubes it is indeed showing. If you want to come up, guys, we're not going to stay long. You know how I do these after shows now. We're not going to stay all night long. Now, tomorrow here in the States, it is a holiday. It is Martin Luther King Day. And, you know, I'm still working. But I pinned it to the chat in the YouTubes. I don't know how I can do that in the Facebooks of it all. But you should be able to, in the Facebooks of it all, go in there and click that. So if you want to come up and chat with us, you can come on. No, I didn't say we wouldn't go party. I just said I wasn't staying all night long with y'all.
I'm telling you, Lisa, people are looking for a party, girl.
Clearly. Clearly, I need to have a party with QuickBooks if anybody wants to join me for that.
That's not a fun
more
party.
than welcome. We could do a whole Zoom party for that one. Y'all can help me out. Listen, you know what? Actually, how many of y'all actually put a 1 in the chat if you have tomorrow off from your 9 to 5 from your day job? Put a 1 in the chat if you have tomorrow off from your day job. Put a 1 in the chat. Yes, Nicole, we can party on Tuesday. So Nicole, okay, well, Carol's got off. Who else got off? Shiny's got off. Well, I don't know. We might be partying. I might go put a little extra that jack in here. Well, shoot. Tasha's got off. Well, hey now. Nicole, for those of you who do that, you wouldn't know because until as I told you, Nicole is also one of my coaches with Lightworker Academy that is changing its name to School of Elena. Elena is a fixed star. So all of you astrology heads, I want you to go look that star up and then you will see why I renamed the school that. Anywho's Heimer. Back to Miss Tanya. I want you guys, I put her links to her gift, to her 90-day Lighten Up challenge. I put that in the description box as well as social media gifts, links, and all that jazz. Tanya, I have to tell you that when I was editing this podcast, your story moved me all over again. Because a lot of us, you know, I'm not going to invalidate anybody's trauma and their experiences. But the absolute strength to come through that, to come through all that you've come through in your life and be on this side of it, my heart just went out all over again. And I want you to kind of share with folks, because you are embarking on this life coaching experience. I want you to share with folks, you know, what made you decide to get into life coaching a little bit deeper than you maybe went into a little bit before, but talk to me about this like life coaching journey and how we got here a little bit more.
Thank you. First, Lisa, you said something that's super interesting, and that is that as you were editing, something that resonated for you was strength. And it's interesting because for me, when I look back, what resonates for me is actually vulnerability. And you know how we seem to honor strength so deeply, right? Like, oh my God, you're so strong. You can do this. And we tell, like, you know, little kids fall and we pick them up and we dust them off and you're like, you're okay, you're tough, right? And so we really honor strength. And I would like to invite a space of honoring vulnerability, because it is in those spaces of vulnerability that we really are able to tap into that love and to tap into that authenticity and to be able to own the steps moving forward a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that is actually a piece of it. Now, the life coaching piece is it's a funny thing, right? Like I've always gone through life, and as I said in the podcast, I'm an empath. I think many of us are empathic, and so as being sensitive empaths, and also wanting to be a helper, right? So in my past life, I was a teacher. I was a vibrator sales lady. I was a social worker. I've always been a helper. That's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And something deeply resonated within me around that missing piece, like I said, around self-love.
Right.
And and so what brought me to life coaching was I was on a crux. I could have determined that I was going to move forward and do my master's and go into counseling. Counseling focuses on past traumas, on disruptions in development.
Mm-hmm.
And coaching focuses on where you are now and your path forward,
Mm-hmm.
giving respect and acknowledgement and honoring where you've been,
Mm-hmm.
but saying, okay, I'm here. And where am I going and how am I getting there in a
Mm-hmm.
loving way? And
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's the biggest piece, right? If it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't come from love, it's probably not here to stay. So it's really figuring that out.
So a lot of people listening to you or listening to us are those that are looking for their path, or they want to help others. They've always helped others, and they might be a little concerned about putting themselves out there, because you're right. It is being vulnerable. It is being transparent. It is being willing to
Scared.
just scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's being willing to open your heart space up to a point. I often say I'm a Cancer sun, right? So I've got this hard exterior shell, and I don't show my soft underbelly to too many people. Now, I show it more than, some people probably beg to differ because I show it a lot on this, but not my real soft. Like there's a part of me that's still, right? But I had to be willing to show a lot of it and open up my heart space. What would you say to those people that are just kind of scared about taking that next step into actually stepping into their purpose of whatever coaching or healing or whatever it is?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? You broke up a little
Well,
bit. What would I say?
oh yeah, with this gosh darn internet, you better stop. I'm not trying to blame Mercury retrograde either. Okay, people that are scared to step out into
Mhm.
their purpose of being a healer, being an out here healer, not just
Mhm.
being a healer just to us four and no more, but being out here and really stepping into that purpose. What would you say to people about stepping out there and doing it?
You know what? It all comes down to trust.
Mm,
And if we I believe that we need to pay attention to the callings. We need to pay attention to the signs. We need to pay attention to the hints that the universe is dropping in our lap. And really trust the steps forward in answering the calling.
mm-hmm,
You know what, Lisa? We both know, and I know that some of your listeners know too, the planet is waking up in a very different way.
mm,
We are starting to awaken to understand our interconnectedness differently and our purposes in this life, having this human experience differently.
mm-hmm,
And I know that that's part of my experience. It's like I I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. But I do know that well, okay, so I actually do too. But But okay. But okay,
Like,
crystal balls aside, the universe, oh, fuck, right? Okay, so we have crystal balls, but
okay.
oh my God, now I want to go grab it. But okay, we cannot predict the future.
Correct.
But what we can do is take the next step. And yeah, absolutely. Shiny just said vulnerability and courage. And that's what that is. That's that trust. It's that taking the next step and going forward and saying, I'm called to do this, and trusting the universe has your back. And you know what, Lisa? You talk about that soft underbelly, that vulnerable side.
Mm-hmm.
Exposing a bit of it to the people that you trust the most is where it starts. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean you have to be all exposed. You're not gonna find me running naked through the streets anytime soon, I hope. Because that to me is the ultimate invulnerability.
Yeah.
You know? And we choose how vulnerable we are going to be with different people. But the truth is, once we start to get vulnerable with ourselves and trust ourselves more, we know the next step. We know the next step. And the planet is calling for us.
Yes.
The planet is saying, we are ready to open up and really truly shine that light in a way like never before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it comes back to, again, like, I can't shine my light, and I truly believe that you and no one else can shine their light unless we know ourselves and we love ourselves. It starts with honoring ourselves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. You said something about being vulnerable to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to really let that sink in, because that is an extremely true statement of being willing to look at everything without judgment.
Yeah.
Right? Not through the lens and the programming that's been forced upon us or given to us, however, which way you want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to look at ourselves through a lens of compassion and an energy of compassion. And like you said, love and honoring. And I think that if we want to be honest with ourselves, if I'm being honest with myself, I was probably the hardest person to be vulnerable with, to myself. That's a very true statement.
And it's a practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. You don't just get to be vulnerable with yourself today and then close up and shut the world out for the rest of your life either. Vulnerability is a practice. And I come back to I always come back to the acronym that I have, which is HELP. Mm-hmm. Honor, empathy, love, and presence. Mm-hmm. And that's how you help yourself. We do those things for others all the time. We are fucking helpers. Mm-hmm. But in the moments when we feel most helpless, most vulnerable, most, and I hate this word, weak, because it's the opposite of strong, we feel it. Mm-hmm. That honor, empathy, love, and presence is the power of stepping into your own vulnerability. The truth is, we all have automatic negative thoughts, right? We all have them. We all have limiting beliefs. I've named mine. I call her Deja. Her full name is Deja, here we go again, poo, as in I've heard this shit before. But she comes waltzing in. But like Lisa, tonight, she came waltzing in, right? She's my shadow self, if you will. She came waltzing in and she was like, oh my God, Tanya, you look like a farmer in your plaid shirt. Like, these are the things. It's like, it's amazing, right? And oh my God, Tanya, you like, don't make a fool of yourself. And she just like, rah. And here's the thing, that vulnerability is not pushing her away and telling her to fuck off.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging her and saying, okay, these are thoughts that I have, and they make me feel nervous, scared, disappointed. All of those feelings, anxious, all the feelings that come with it. And being able to come to a place of, I forgive myself for letting myself have those thoughts and have those feelings, and I can own them. That is the empathy in it. But I also know that I trust myself enough to take the next step forward and sit here in front of the screen with you in my farmer plaid shirt that matches yours. So clearly, we're super cool. Just saying.
There you go. There you go.
Yes. I'm just going to say, Red Violet just said, I got to name it. And you know what? When you name her and then actually can go so far as to objectify her. So mine, for example, is a 5-star Michelin maitre d' at a beautiful restaurant. And she is like so coiffed. She's beautiful, bright red lipstick, dressed in sleek black. She's like the most gorgeous waitress, maitre d' you've ever seen. But here's the thing. It's a mask, because when she comes walking up to my table, she brings the silver platter with the beautiful dome. I can even see my reflection in the dome. When she pulls it off, all she ever serves me is shit sandwiches.
Oh my God. Wow.
Right? So it's really about, it's about embodying and actually being, not embodying, sorry, envisioning who this limiting belief is for you, so that you can separate yourself from that, acknowledge it, give it voice, and forgive it.
Yeah.
But also don't push it away, but make space for it.
Right. Now, too often, and I think we do this in everything, like a lot of people will say to me, oh, when I'm meditating, all these thoughts come in my brain and I want the thoughts to go away. No. Because the more energy we give to it, right, to push them away, to push away the shadow side, to push all this stuff away and act like it doesn't exist, or just, you know what I'm saying, like put our blinders on, actually the more life we give to it. And
absolutely,
the more it becomes a thing, right? Whereas if we just kind of acknowledge it, like, all right, why are you here? Oh, okay, really? All right, cool. Let's just work through this and then we can move on. Rather than...
And let's look at the facts. Like, that's the other thing. She often relies on, I call it cultural stew. She relies on information that was given to me by other people, by social media, by, comments I heard on a bus when I was 13. But, like, it's amazing the stuff that we will put into our cultural stew. And she's just trying to feed us the sandwiches that are leftovers from the cultural stew.
Yeah.
Right? You notice I go with all these food analogies? It happens.
You're a bit of a foodie. It works for me.
Right?
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. God, I feel like my internet's going to go down at any moment. Inner child, yes. Do you guys have any questions for our dear guest? We have our dear guest in the house. I want you guys to be sure you ask if you got any questions that you go on and ask, because it seems like everyone's soup dupe shy to come on. Oh, I didn't notice. So sorry, guys. I don't have a mod in there, so some of you guys' chats are not getting in here. I'm actually going to go to I want to put some links in here, so bear with me, gang. I'm just wanting to get some links in here so you guys can be sure. They're in the description box below, so I'm sorry.
Shiny loves our plaid shirts. Asia Love Tarot says she has a question.
Okay, honey. Do you want to come up or do you want to ask it from there? I will put, even though it is up in the pinned comment, I'll put it in the chat again if you want to come up and come in. Come on in the room. You can either type it in or you can come on up and click the link. Thanks everyone for loving our plaid shirts. Thank you, darlings. Listen, I love a good plaid. You have to be from like a northern like location, or maybe rural in general. I got maybe on the opposite side of the earth. But you got to be from rural or live rurally to appreciate a good plaid shirt, I think.
And to rock it.
And to rock
really
it
know,
confidently.
like, right. To know that you could be hopping off the back of a hay wagon any moment.
At any moment in time. Any given moment. Okay. Oh, wow. She's got a hot one. How do you deal with narcissistic family when you are a light worker / starseed?
Do you want to go first, or would you like me to answer how I deal with
it? Listen, you're my guest. They hear me all the time. For me, wow. That's a very deep conversation for me. To me, it's a lot about energy management. So I try, especially if they're in the same household, which makes it a little more difficult sometimes, a lot of times, all the time. It's about managing energy and not allowing yourself to feed into, to give them anything, whether it be good or bad energy, because the energy vampire feeds off either one. It does not differentiate. So that's a very short answer. I'm going to let you give your answer, and then I'm sure we'll continue on.
We'll continue. Okay. So my answer is similar. However, I think I would expand upon it. I totally agree. Narcissists. I've had several narcissists in my life. And you know what? Like Shiny totally said, stay away. And when you have the option of staying away, that's beautiful. But when you don't necessarily have the option, it comes down to really energy preservation and awareness around how you are going to interact or not interact with that person. And we probably can all relate that sometimes even just walking into the same room as a narcissist can feel like our vibe goes from here and it just sinks off the planet. And yes, absolutely. It is that toxicity that drags us down. So, energetically, we can go into a space of consciously envisioning a bubble around ourselves where that energy cannot penetrate us and that our energy is protected from that, right? So we can go into that space of creating that energy field around us, if you will. The second piece, though, is boundaries. Narcissists feast on porous boundaries because they are constantly trying to have their needs met and fed.
Yep.
So if you have strong boundaries, or if you have boundaries that are very clear to serve yourself, then that narcissist isn't actually probably going to want to stick around too long because you're not going to be feeding them the way that they want to and need to be fed.
Correct. So I will also say this. I'm going to Asia has a little bit further. I had to cut off my narcissistic mother and husband and other family members who are very controlling, negative, and against my spiritual journey. I feel for you. My heart goes out to you because that is a very difficult path. So I'm not going to make my next statement that I'm about to make flippantly and actually. So there's two parts to this, and Christina's touching on this. Let me see here. Let me show this. So the more healed you become, the more ill people will seek you out and be drawn to you. And that's very true. And Christina brought something up that I was about to say too. If you are healed, you won't use the narcissist to help tend your wounds. The dynamics will change. Christina was a part of my youth group when she was younger and I was younger. I was older, but she was younger. Anyway, jokey. Yes, I teach auric defense. That's what, defense of your aura, of your space, your boundaries, probably in a different way than other people do. Because my feeling is that the narcissist is here to help the empath actually figure out where our biggest chinks in our armor is and what areas need or require probably the most attention in some ways. And as that healing happens, then there becomes no attraction, no space for that narcissist to be able to glom onto. Your auric field, like you talked about a bubble, to me, if you think about it, as you're healing and healing and healing, you become this really smooth bubble. And if you think about like a fully inflated balloon or a fully inflated basketball or a ball in general, you can't just latch on to a fully inflated ball. You got to kind of like palm it, right? You can't grab, you got to palm. So they can't really get their claws in as you're more healed. And as you become more healed and you become more of a lover of your own soul, you see them in a space of neutrality.
Yes. And the beautiful thing is they become less attracted to you.
Yes.
Because they can't get their hands in. You're not a bowling ball. They can't even find the holes for the fingers. You are just a smooth sphere.
Yes.
Right? They just can't get their fingers in you.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, though, and this is often really common, this is where they try and turn the tables on you and suggest that you are the narcissist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because they can't accept any responsibility for themselves. So, of course, you have to be the narcissist. It's interesting you say that because I've been doing some kind of pop culture. I'm very interested in a lot of things pop culture. People probably be very shocked what I'm interested in. But I've always grown up quite intrigued and interested in the royal family in England. So watching this whole Megxit and, I don't remember how young I was, but I could have been more than 8 or 10, maybe I was a little bit older when Charles and Diana got married. I wish I could remember how old I was. At any rate, I was a child and I can remember getting up and being up specifically at like 6:30 in the morning here
For the
in
wedding.
Wisconsin so I could watch her get married. So anyway, so fast forward to now and the Megxit thing and the Harry and the Harkles and all that, yeah. And I'm watching Harry, whom I believe has always been very, very much an empath, very much. And I'm watching him become a narcissist because empaths and narcissists are two sides of the same coin.
Same coin.
It's all duality. Asia, I even had to leave my home because of it, but my sanity and mental health is far more important. Honey, I'm so wow. And I have to start all over, but I feel more at peace being to myself because I'm empathetic. You made a very tough decision. And I applaud you. I honor you. And I celebrate you for choosing you. And it's not selfish and it's not wrong at all.
And that is vulnerability. That is courage.
Yes.
And that is trusting that the decision that you made was the best one to protect you, your soul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Christina says the more healed you become, the dynamics will change. Yep, and they tend to trust you. The abuse will not stop, but when they get backed into a corner, they will turn to you for advice. Yes, they will. But understand the cycle of a narcissist and an empath. Particularly true for narcissistic people that have entities attached to them. Nicole says she's very proud of you, dear Asia. And Carol admires your strength. So that is true that they will come back to you for advice. But that's part of the narcissistic control cycle. The love bomb, the gaslight, the blame game, the smear campaign, more blaming, more gaslighting, and then, oh, I'm so sorry, I was so wrong. I need you so much.
You are so great at blah, 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 blah. You are my person for blah, 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 blah. It is all the enticing ways that they try to hook you back in. And you know, it go back to that key piece of advice that was given a while ago, stay away. If that's a possibility, that really is often the best option.
Yes, it is. DV has followed you her whole life. Was a pattern in the family before you married one. Yep. He gaslighted you and love bombed, but I've chosen to go within because I am chosen. That I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
I am so incredibly proud of you. Yeah. Definitely where there's DV, absolutely. And guys, I just can't say it right now on here. Trust me, the podcast with the F bombs is gonna. I'm shocked that got monetized. The YouTube people must not really. YouTube thought police must not be monitoring my channel. Anyway, the word police and the thought police. Anyway, where there's DV involved, you absolutely, right? And I can feel you, Asia, because that was the cycle that was in my family. Horrific DV, lots of narcissism, just sheer lunacy and fear. And then I, now looking back on it, realized I had gotten into two different kinds of relationships. One where there was some level of narcissism, but I had kind of flipped and become, I needed to be in control because I never wanted anyone to be able to exercise control over me like my father did over my mother. That's icky and nasty. And then I finally ended up finally marry my father, basically. I married, my second husband was basically my father, just different skin tone. And my mother said to me, you sure you can handle this? And I'm like, yeah, I handled that. I mean, but that was father-daughter. That wasn't husband-wife. So, but where there's DV, you absolutely have to get out. Absolutely. I mean, that component along with the emotional, fuck it, the mind fuck that you get anyway on a regular basis, you can't. You just can't. It will literally kill you. A little bit every day, but it will literally kill you.
And the thing about that, Lisa, is that statistically, having worked with women who are victims of domestic violence when I was working with children's services, it is true that it often takes more than 10 times for someone to successfully leave a relationship that is that abusive.
Yep.
And that really does come from that, the amazing way that a narcissist is able to erode the sense of self of their victim.
Yes.
And if there's one thing they want more than anything, is they don't want you to love yourself. They don't want you to trust yourself. And they don't want you to believe that in any way you can go forward in your life without them.
Yes.
And so, to anyone who is in a domestically violent situation, And by the way, when I say domestically violent, I do not just mean physical violence. I mean any kind of abuse within an inter-partner relationship.
Mm.
That first step is creating safety for yourself. So because nobody ever knows when the next big thing will be. So it is creating safety.
Yeah.
And that sometimes means physical safety, like picking up your purse and walking out the door and saying, like, I cannot fucking be here because I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning in this person's space.
Yeah.
But the next step is really starting to nurture yourself again.
Yeah.
From ground one and rebuilding that self-love.
Yep. Definitely.
Oh my God, my heart.
And that takes an enormous amount of the vulnerability one has to have to leave.
Yeah.
And I never, so in that relationship, my last marriage, I never experienced, he wasn't physically abusive. Although I would say the 5 outside girlfriends taking a chance on my life probably is a form of physical abuse. But anyway, he was never physically abusive, but even in the emotional and mental abuse, it was shameful for me to have to admit that I had fallen under this spell. And then of course, everybody after that was like, you weren't looking like yourself. Your light had left you. Like, dude. Anyway. The problem is when we're with a person in an abusive relationship, a lot of times people don't come and say anything because they don't want they don't want to get alienated by the person suffering that situation at that moment, or they're like, well, I've said something. And the likelihood that person is going to finally just walk out and never go back is so slim, I can't deal with it. And so it does take a special person, right, to be able to sit there, to be able to say, listen, I'm going to stick with you no matter what. So for anybody that's not been in that situation and but you have a good friend or a family member or whatever, a coworker we know, just stand by them. Just be there. Just allow them to be as vulnerable as they can be whenever they can be, and just be that safe space without judgment, because there will come a time that they may need you. May need you.
And I think there's, if I may add, Lisa, one of the other pieces of that is that sometimes it's common for people who are in those very manipulative and very abusive relationships to seem like they're shutting you out if you are a friend.
Oh my God, yeah.
And this is where it's all the more important that you're careful in your energy, and you don't play into the narcissist, and that friend, whoever is the victim that is aware that you are there and you love them and that you will be there no matter what, even if they try and shut you out, that you're still there and you still love them.
Yep. And this is exactly what Nicole's talking about, right? Horrific abuse, but the ex had alienated her from her family and friends.
Yeah.
That's what they do. I don't care if they're physically or I don't care what level it is. They do that. Mine did it to me. My father did it to my mother.
I've been there.
It's crazy. And here and so Rhythm here is a man. So I want those, if I do have men listening, I don't want you to think, guys, that we don't honor when you've gone through this, because it's not like it's only men that are narcissists. Some of the most insidious narcissists I've come across are women, because nobody believes that oh my God, there's no way. ended up marrying her. Oh yeah. So instead of your biological father, it ended up being your stepfather. Very abusive to me. Yeah. Oh, guys, I didn't think we were going to get here. You never know what's going to happen on a live show with me.
You never do. You never
Many
do.
people will
But
be
you know,
fooled.
I do want to go back to this one statement
Yes.
Nicole made. She said, I had no one. And Nicole, I really, I don't want you to take this statement lightly, but you always have the most important someone, and that is you. Like, and that's the thing that a narcissist will do is they will make you believe that you have no one. And the truth is the most important person is the one who is living your life, your human experience, your foot in front of the other, your breath, you,
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Her husband, Asia's husband, did it as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't ignore it. Okay, so this is a tough one. And Jen and I have known each other. She's been, oh God, a subscriber to the channel for almost since the very beginning, I think. I can't say what I want to say. Okay, I get it. He's in bad health. Oh boy, shut up. Okay,
I'll talk.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to
I
say
do.
about that one. Because
I do.
go
I
ahead.
do. I do. I empathize with a partner who is in bad health and that feeling of incredible responsibility. And so in those situations, you may have to have a certain amount of exposure to that person. My invitation is to always be focusing on your path forward and out down the road. Because when you are able to envision the steps you need to take to care for that partner, but also care for yourself so that the time comes and you will know when it's here to make that exit, that it will seem like everything has been in place to make it happen. Like, it's very easy, especially under, I'm going to call it the web of the narcissist, to feel like you can't make any movement in it. But what you can be doing is arriving for yourself, tapping into yourself, nurturing yourself as much as possible to, if you will, build your vulnerability and your courage and own your strength. So when the time is right, you know it. And you can take that next brave step.
Yeah. Because there's going to come a time, and let me put it like this. There's going to come a time, Jen, where you're not able to care for him at home anyway. That's just reality. And you, like Tanya said, you got to put yourself first. Because what happens if it's 5 years, 10 years, and you are still full-time caretaker, still the emotional, continue emotional abuse. And it might sound like it's super easy for someone to say on this side of the fence, but I can't be your emotional punching bag. And then now here you are in this position and you still got something to say. I ain't got time for you. You're gonna have to. No. This is what we're not going to do. Because you could be that to the nurses or whatever, and I'm gonna pray for them. Because see, they'll tell you where to go and how to get there, and they ain't got a problem doing it. But it's time for you to live your life. So, child, don't get me started. See, this is the problem. This is why I got to go over to station head so I can really get my shit off. Um, wow, rhythm. So rhythm is in a situation which again, I want folks to understand it's not just women that experience this. Here he had an abusive narcissistic mother, ends up with in a relationship with an abusive narcissistic woman that now is the biological mother of his children, and it's taken him a lot of time and having to walk away from everything in order to save himself and his kids and become his greatest self. Now, see, this is Christina. You could tell Christina's been knowing me for a while. If they don't care about your well-being, it's time to say there are professionals that can tend to you. You could tell she sat underneath my teaching for a long time.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait.
Yes. And Red Violet says that's their karma.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes, it is. Well, sweetheart, why do you? Okay, I'm a. Jesus bless me. Okay, I don't know if you all in Canada, Tanya. Jen's in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So let me ask you this question. You might know the answer to this. Don't y'all have something like here in the States? We have Medicare, and what it's a socialized
Mhm.
insurance, right, for either elderly or disabled. And in different plans, there's transportation to and from appointments. If you're unable to care for yourself, they will help provide uh how assisted living or some other skilled nursing facility. Do you all have that there in Canada?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every province has different programs, but
Mm-hmm.
every province has programs to provide support. And it may be
Mm-hmm.
transportation, it may be home care, it may be assisted living. And
Mm-hmm.
there are also programs to support caregivers. And a lot of people don't know that. But
Oh.
there are programs to support caregivers so that caregivers can access extra mental health supports. Yeah, social services. What province is Jen in? Just out of
Jen, what
curiosity.
province are you in, loving? See, this is what we do on this channel. We support one another and we help find resources, child, so you can get out. Yep, social
Yeah.
services here. Okay, so there is social services.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What's this question?
She's in BC. If he goes into care, then they will take 80% of his income. Because the idea is that that will cover his cost of care, right?
Okay, but can't she get paid for being his caregiver?
To be paid as a caregiver, you have to be a professional caregiver. There are programs where she could have caregivers come into the home that are not his, though, that are not her, possibly.
Okay, so Jen, this might be another conversation for another time, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm understanding you to say that if that happened, that would make things a little difficult for you, because if I remember correctly, he's the one that's worked this whole time. Okay, so I mean, to me, I'd sell the house. I'd be done sold the house. You go. I got this over here. Uh, You do what you gotta do, pimping. I can't. You have to live for you at some point, Jen. You gotta live for you. And I'm not trying to be flippant. I'm just telling you, there's a point in time you've raised the children, you taking care of him, you're taking care of the household and him, and now him, and he's ill, and this, that, and the other. And the problem is that we get in these modes where we've not done anything, right? Or we've not created, or we feel like we haven't done anything, that we've not created any skill. Do you mind not showing everybody you're behind? And so, but you trust me, you've always. Listen, I've been to put his ass in a goddamn home. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna shortchange that. Your ass would go. You ain't got nothing to say. He won't hear of it. Okay, well, I don't want to hear your mouth. So it's either you shut up and act right and let me take care of you in peace and tranquility, or you gotta go. Anyway, or I divorce. But that's not, I'm not that, that's just my opinion. Oh, here's my friend.
You know, though.
Hey.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Hey, how
hi.
you doing?
Good.
Great. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing okay. I'm gonna say this, Jen. The hardest thing is for you. The scariest thing is the fact of what you're dealing with right now. But when you walk away, and Tom, trust me, you'll heal. It's very scary when you're walking away from somebody like that. I promise you. It's never easy or simple. You know, I had to walk away from 6 figures a year, being a construction manager, leaving a home behind. I had money and everything stolen from me. My kids had money stolen from them, as far as out of their accounts that their biological mother stole. I didn't even know that my own mother was basically going against me. She had me move to Atlanta just so that basically I could wind up going through more hell and more shit with her. So I moved to Atlanta. Next thing you know, their mother wound up moving and starting up even more shit with me, and it was hell. So I know what it's like to go through all that. I know what it's like to lose everything. And you might not have the money that you need, but you have to take the first step and walk away. Trust me, your angels will be there to protect and guide you. All you have to do is take the first step. Don't worry about what you don't have. It will take time, but everything will come in the right moment. I promise you.
That's
It will.
very true. That's very true. What were you going to say, Tanya?
Oh, I was just going to say, well, actually, first of all, Nicole said, after what I went through with my ex, I refuse not to choose me. You deserve to choose you, Jen. And that really is it. And the truth is, Jen, there will always be reasons why you should stay. There will always be reasons why you should stay. There will also be significant costs to staying in a situation that destroys your soul day by day by day. So if right now is not the time to leave, it's very easy for us to say, just pick up your bag and be like, see you later, man. Like, don't let the door hit you. But I understand it's not that simple. The first step is really making sure that you're invested in you and making sure that you're taking care of you to build that resiliency, to build that trust in yourself right now, so that moving forward, you have enough trust in yourself to take those steps, to get out, to make change, to build a plan that creates safety and health and peace in your soul, free from that.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Well, guys, we've been on here an hour. Okay.
Wow.
It goes by fast.
Yes, it does. It does.
It goes by very, very fast. I've put in the chat, guys, a link to Lighten Your Life, her Lighten Your Life program, Tanya's program that she has so graciously offered, making an offer for free. It's $197 value that just for using, there's a link there, there's a link in the description, and just for using code Dr. Lisa, you can get that for absolutely for free. And let me put this link to her 90-day self-love challenge.
Oh, can I tell you about that, Lisa? I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
please.
I'm like
Go
beyond
ahead.
jacked. I'm
Please
beyond
do.
jacked. Okay, so I really wanted to create something that would invite people gently into loving themselves and showing up for themselves every day. So first of all, I hate the word challenge. So I scrapped the word challenge.
Oh.
And it's the Lighten Up 90-Day Self-Love Adventure now. That's okay. That's me. I told you challenge, but I realized it doesn't align with me because challenge to me sounds, you know what? The truth is challenge sounds grueling. Challenge sounds competitive. And you know what? I was the fat kid in gym. So when we had to do our fitness challenges, I always knew where I was landing.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to me to leave that cultural stew bullshit behind. So this is an adventure. This is a juicy, awesome adventure into stepping into loving you every day for 90 days. The program is incredible. It's going to launch live on February 5th. And then after that, every Monday to Friday, everyone's going to get like a mini lesson in their inbox. It's just going to be a short video, and then they'll have a workbook that they're working through every day, just showing up for themselves in those gentle, loving ways, identifying what brings them joy, identifying the things they're grateful for, identifying what matters to them in their lives. It's just absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm also going to be adding to that a workshop where I'm going to do some vision boarding with manifesting, which is super exciting because a vision board by itself is kind of just a piece of paper with a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
But I'm going to introduce the concept of manifesting with that as well. Lisa, the crazy and exciting part is this. I want to make it accessible. It's really important to me. As I was thinking about how to put this out to the world, what's important to me is that this is something that people can invest in themselves and really, truly see their own value in it. And so so there's two things. So after February 2nd, which is Groundhog Day, as in I've seen this shit before, okay? After February 2nd, it's going to be $349. I'm still pricing it low because I want people to have this experience. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Before that, it's going to be $99.
Yeah, that's $1 a day.
It's a little more than $1 a day.
Just a little bit, right? But not much. That's a coffee. That's less than a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I just know that people are in spaces of hardship and people are in spaces of challenge. And I understand that there are a lot of people who are doubting themselves in every way, their mind, their body, their spirit, and their finances. And they're like, I can't invest in myself. I have nothing. The well is tapped. And so what I'm saying is, like, literally for $99, this is your opportunity to step gently into loving yourself, to take those steps every day, to be with you and create that life that you deserve. I'm so excited. Like, I'm off the charts excited. Like, oh my God.
I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. Guys, I had no idea that this was, wow. I had no idea.
I know. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. I'm so
You
so
guys have
excited.
to, like, so I met Tanya recently, and at an event, a podcasters event, and those that wish to be on podcasts, and that's how I met her. And it was an amazing connection. I was there doing a lot of different interviews and whatnot. But there's a genuineness and an authenticity and an absolute love that comes from you.
Ditto, sister. Ditto, sister. I'm telling you.
I love it.
I'm grateful. I just know that there are so many souls that are looking for a path forward.
Yeah.
And it starts with fueling our own fire, because that light, and I keep coming back to light, because we are all love and light, and we are made of light. And that's what connects us. Yes. And that's what energizes us. And when we rediscover that flame and we nurture that flame, we have so much more to give, and we have so much more energy to create beauty and abundance and possibilities. It's just like infinitely awesome.
It is infinite. Yes, it is. It is absolutely, absolutely amazing.
Oh,
okay, guys, so you heard that $99. I put the link in there for the adventure. The link will be in the description box here as well. I have to change the word challenge to adventure, but it'll be in the description box here. You guys have to absolutely take advantage of that. Before we kind of wrap things up, because I promised Tanya I was not going to keep her. I was going to pull a Lionel Richie and keep her all night. I want to. We're being requested to pray for Jen, and Jen, I'm going to do something I think I'm being led to do with you and for you. There's something Spirit has dropped in my heart, so I want to just put this out here. I'm speaking over you right now, Jen. A beautiful healing energy that's not just healing of your mind, and not just healing of your soul, and not just healing of your heart, and not just healing of your body, but that is a transmutation energy that takes fear, doubt, shame, self-loathing, feelings of of unworthiness, self-hate, self-loathing, self-doubt, and infuses you with this beautiful, considerate pink, if you will, right? Like a rose quartz energy, infused with some green, so your heart space heals, infused with blue, so you speak life over yourself and over your life, infused with violet and indigo, so you see yourself in a different way. So the vision that you have of yourself, now you know better, Gemini. Be nice, okay? So the vision that you have of yourself is one of your highest good. And that you begin to chip away at the programming, and your mind begins to be renewed with the washing of your word and who you truly are, and what you're truly capable of, and what the reason you are truly here, and that each and every moment of pain be turned into purpose, and that you begin to get beauty for ashes and rise like the phoenix. Each of these opportunities that you're given, right, to be able to, to be blessed with even more infusion of that energy and that power and that support, we bring them to you now. So I just need you to grab a hold of that energy that I'm sending towards you, and I need you to allow that to wash over you and to integrate within you and permeate every cell of your being. And that you open up the floodgates for your highest good, for your higher self, in conjunction with Source, in conjunction with Spirit, to be able to minister to your soul, that the archangels come to you, hold you up, and support you. And I decree and declare that over you. Spirit says, though, but beloved, you have to take the first step. You've got to take that first step. And every step thereafter, you don't need to know 20 steps. You just need to know one. And the rest will be illuminated to you. Okay?
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
The universe has your back.
Yes. 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 Always does. Always. Always.
And in all ways.
And in all ways. Yes. I love it. All right, my dear, my new friend, I'm going to let you go because I know you have a family to tend to. I have QuickBooks to attend to. You all might see me on Station Head. Look out in the Facebook group or on the community tab if I decide to go on Station Head tonight. But Tanya, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. This was truly beautiful. And to your audience, thank you so much for welcoming me into community and being vulnerable and really truly showing up with your heart in all of its spaces that it is. Yeah. That is so beautiful. To be a part of that, I feel truly honored to have been able to share space with you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. All right, gang, we're going to do our usual sign off here. All right. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. We love you guys so much.
Thank you. Peace be with you. Stay well. Much love.